Hi, Vibrant friends. It's Vic with Vibrant with Vic, and I'm really excited to be here today with you. So, as you know, it recently turned to spring here, and it's a really exciting time. So, we're going to think a little bit about spring today. And if you don't know about me, just to tell you a little bit, I combine psychological principles with yoga to tend to the physical body, the mental body, and the emotional body. And I'm here with virtualvegfestlive.com. Please check them out, see their website, see all their great offerings and their monthly contests. Also, shout out to Rebel Cheese. You can see below there are sponsors. And you can find out more about me by going to my website, which is also in the banner below, vibrantwithvic.com. You can see when my group classes are. I also do individual private sessions as well to help you be more vibrant. So let's talk a little bit about the physical body, the mental body, and the emotional body today. So when we think about the physical body, know that everything I do is merely a suggestion, okay? If it doesn't feel good to you, please don't do it. If you feel any pain or strain, you can gently back out of the pose at any time or come into another pose that's totally different. Whatever feels good to you today. This is your practice. So please remember that. Also, remember your left side and your right side are going to feel different. And the way that you felt yesterday is going to be different than the way you feel today, then it's going to be different than the way you feel tomorrow. So, for all three parts of us, our physical, our mental, and our emotional bodies, we're going to turn inward and really tune in to see what we need today. And this is a practice that we can take with us off the mat as well. So, let's talk about our mental body. Psychology tells us that we have thousands upon thousands of thoughts in our head all the time, usually on repeat, usually thoughts that don't serve us. They may be judgments about ourselves, maybe about others. And they are well intended oftentimes, right? Like, I can do better. I can stick to this longer. I can push through. But we really need to tune in and see what is behind all of that noise, right? So that's another thing that yoga allows us to do, being mindful. So mindfulness is paying attention on purpose to the present moment without judgment. So being that curious observer, non-judgmental awareness that you can also bring to your life off of the mat as well. So lastly, the emotional body, that heart space. As we practice, as we get quiet with ourselves, emotions might rise up. And letting those emotions rise up and out, not labeling them as good or bad, just bringing that non judgmental awareness to them can be extremely helpful. So let's get started. So today we are going to be standing, we're going to be sitting in a chair. So if you want to sit on the ground, that's great. If you want to sit on a chair, that's great. Anywhere you can get really comfortable sitting would be perfect. And we're going to start that way. I might start close up to you all first instead of moving back to my chair like I often do, or the ground, because you don't need to see my whole body for this. We are going to tune in, right? Go inward and tune in. So gently finding a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Sitting up nice and tall here. If you're sitting on a chair, maybe having something behind your back to support you, or scooching all the way to the back of the chair to have that support you. Maybe if you're sitting, you want to sit on something to help tilt your pelvis a little bit forward, or to lean up against a wall to help support you. Just being really supported here and comfortable. And then taking a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, if it feels good to you, closing your eyes or casting them downward. And we'll go inside here and just notice what's going on with the breath. We're oftentimes in a sympathetic nervous system state where we're really aroused in that sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight. We don't even know it. Our stressful, hectic lives tend towards that, and we have shallow breaths, short breaths. So just noticing what your breath is doing right now. And then knowing you have control over this breath to calm yourself even in the most stressful times. And one way you can do this is inviting the breath deeper into the belly. So having these breaths be longer and deeper. Maybe having that exhale be a little bit longer than the inhale even can help bring that parasympathetic nervous system on board, that rest and digest. Bringing calm into the mind, body, and heart. And maybe thinking about these three centers that I talked about, the physical body being located in the belly, our grounding center, our gut instincts. And breathing oxygen deep in there as our bellies rise and fall. And then adding to that, that heart space, that emotional center, what your heart knows, the wisdom that's there. And breathing up into the heart space. And then bringing oxygen all the way up into the head space, that mental body where the wise mind resides. And think about nourishing that with oxygen with your 3-part breath. Inhaling deeply and slowly and filling belly, heart space, head. And exhaling head, heart, and belly. Just a few more rounds of this really deep 3-part breath. Nourishing with oxygen from your tail to the crown and exhaling crown to tail. And as you do this, as you breathe here, thinking about our spring quote for the day, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. So maybe thinking about what type of garden you want to plant in your mind today to help you cultivate your hopes and dreams in the future. Maybe it's just one thing that you can do to help support yourself. Nothing is too small. Taking a few more deep breaths here, we can ground into this space, keeping our eyes closed or cast downward by using our senses. And this is something we can do anytime throughout the day when we're feeling like stress is a little overwhelming. Really feeling your skin and noticing where your body is making contact with another object, with itself, with your clothes, even the temperature in the room around you. Bringing your attention to your nose and notice if there are any scents in the air, just being that curious observer. And then bringing your attention to your ears and noticing how many distinct sounds you can pick out around you. Just a few more deep breaths. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes as if you're opening them for the first time and looking around your room. Seeing what your eyes are drawn to, noticing colors and textures, and maybe finding something in your space that brings you joy, that can support you on your journey. and noticing how that feels in your heart space. And if you don't see anything, maybe closing your eyes again and picturing something in your mind's eye and noticing how that feels in your body. And whatever you're thinking about, knowing that you can cultivate this in yourself at any time by just bringing awareness to it in your mind. Awesome job. So, standing up from wherever you were, we'll start standing here. So, just shaking it out, any intuitive movements you want to make here. Moving your shoulders, moving your wrists, moving your neck. We're going to start with willow tree for our poses here today. So our feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Hip point towards the front. Maybe have your hands on your hips to see if they're pointed forward. And we're going to start rotating with our hips stable, pointed forward around our hips. Now our hips are going to tend to want to join in, but let's just see what happens with our back and how that feels if our hips tend to stay a little bit towards the front. And as you move to the side, you might have to make a conscious effort to keep those hips pointed. Maybe gently tapping your body, maybe looking left and right as you rotate. Just noticing how this is feeling in your body. This is getting more of your mid and upper back. And then start incorporating the hips as you turn, lifting the heel as you turn away from it, noticing how different this feels in your body. So it might look very similar, but notice how just very small tweaks can change how you feel this inside. Nice job. So as if the willow tree is responding to the breeze subsiding, slowing down and working your way back to stillness. We'll shake that out and we'll come to our mountain. So thinking about grounding into all four corners of the feet, just imagining that your feet do have four corners here and grounding into them and maybe picking up the toes and setting them down, thinking about lifting up those arches. Feeling that energy come up, strengthening the legs, engaging the legs. This can be a very strong pose here, engaging the glutes, engaging Mula Bandha. Those are those pelvic floor muscles, squeezing those in, squeezing in your core, Uddiyana Bandha, opening up that proud chest, maybe by opening those hands towards the front. Think about engaging as we move up. Shoulder blades glide down the back, maybe tucking the chin a little. Spine is really long, crown of the head towards the sky. Maybe closing your eyes here for just a few breaths, really engaging the body, feeling yourself as a really strong mountain here. Remembering to breathe, using that breath to support you and the seeds you want to plant in your life this spring. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes, and we'll inhale those arms up into a slight back bend, and then we'll swan down forward in our half sun salutation. Pausing here for a second as we really hang, maybe bending one knee and the other, maybe putting our hands in our elbow creases and swaying side to side, just releasing in this ragdoll. Seeing what your head wants to do. Is your head stiff? Does it want to relax? Moving any way that intuitively feels good to you. And then dropping those hands and coming up into your halfway lift. So thinking about a flat back here, knees, hands avoiding those kneecaps, right? Knees not being locked out, crown of the head towards the front. Exhaling, forward fold, and then really grounding into those feet, rooting to rise, bending your knees as much as you need, scooping up all that energy, reach into our back bend and hands to heart center. Excellent job. Doing one more of those at your own pace or following my lead. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Great job. Shaking that out. Okay, so from here, we're going to work a little bit on our shoulders, right? We hold so much tension up here. So bringing our arms to this 90-degree angle here with our cactus arms. So we will take a deep inhale and we'll exhale and we'll round belly button towards the spine. Chin goes down a bit, arms come together, tucking that pelvis, arching that back in like a cat position. And then we'll inhale and we'll open up, being careful not to hyperextend the neck, just opening up those arms, maybe looking up if it feels good. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, going at your own pace. And the next time we open up, pausing here, noticing what those shoulders are wanting to do. If they tend to want to come up, bringing them down. We'll inhale deeply and we'll exhale the arms down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Notice how that is feeling. This can be quite the arm workout as well. One more time. And then we'll shake that out. Good. So one more with the arms here. So really grounding in again, having that strong base, engaging Mula Bandha, engaging that core. And from here, we'll take our one hand, you can use either one, and we will have it on the opposite hip. And we'll think about if we're pulling a sword out of our pocket and then rotating open with that sword. So rotating the arm open and then closing it as we put the sword back in our pocket. Maybe you want to have your eyes and your neck follow as you're working on this rotation and opening up. And then we'll bring that arm down and we'll switch to the other side. When you feel you've done an equal number or balance for whatever your body needs on both sides, you can shake that out. We'll do a little bit of a balance pose here in Banana Asana, standing. So grounding into one leg, we'll cross the other foot over. We'll inhale up and we'll reach over to the side. So bending in this banana type shape. Maybe you want to grab one hand, having a hold of the wrist to really get into that stretch. Maybe the wrist and hands don't meet. Whatever feels good here. Noticing the side stretch, noticing the balance of this pose. Maybe looking up if that feels good to your neck. Inhaling up and shaking that out. We'll come to the other side. So grounding in to that opposite foot, crossing over, inhaling up. We'll lean to the opposite side, maybe grab the wrist, maybe look up, whatever feels good to you. Really engaging that core, engaging Mula Bandha can help stabilize you. Inhaling up and exhaling, shaking that out. So coming down to sit here, either on the floor, on your chair. If you're on your chair, coming to the edge of it, for a couple more poses before we either move to the back of it or move down on to the floor for our final relaxation. So sitting up nice and tall here, engaging Mula Bandha, engaging that core, taking a deep breath here, rolling the shoulders up and down the back a few times, really opening up that heart space a little bit more. And then we'll drop those shoulder blades down, pausing in stillness. And we'll inhale and exhale one ear to the shoulder, inviting that shoulder to drop even farther down away from the ear that's coming towards it, like it doesn't want to meet it there. Inhaling up and exhaling to the other side. Inhaling up, exhaling. Inhaling up, exhaling. Inhaling up and exhaling. Great job. This time, let's inhale deeply and look out to one side. Back to center and exhaling to the other side. So this is going right and left with the neck. And bringing that back to center, and then doing some head rolls, just being careful not to hyperextend your neck in one direction and then the other, and just any intuitive movement with your neck that you would like to do here. And when you're ready, coming back to stillness, really engaging that core. And this time we're going to ground in one leg. Inhale deeply, pulling in the knee into the chest on the exhale, and then crossing it over into our figure four stretch. We might want to invite that knee forward a little bit. If you're sitting on a chair, down towards the ground. If you are sitting on the ground, this knee is going to be pointed up, so you would be inviting it more towards the front of the mat. Really flexing in to that foot, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing. You all look great. Nice work. And then from here, gliding that raised knee over. So the knees are crossed, inhaling deeply, and we'll exhale and twist towards the side of the upper leg, the one that's on top. Maybe you want to engage that foot still in a flex position. Maybe not. Whatever works for your body. Inhaling back to center, and we'll straighten the legs and shake those out, and we'll come to the other side. Grounding in the other leg. We'll do a deep inhale, and on the exhale, bringing that other knee in towards the body, crossing it over, flexing that foot, inviting the hip to open up here, just not pressing on that knee joint. Breathing. Noticing where your mind is going, maybe gently inviting it back if it has wandered. Engaging Mula Bandha, engaging that core. And then gently stacking those legs, sitting up nice and tall again. Inhaling, and on the exhale, we're going to twist here. Looking out over that back shoulder if that feels good on your neck. Breathing. Nice work, and we'll gently unwind and we'll shake that out. And if there's anything you want to do before we come into our final relaxation sequence, where we're going to do some progressive relaxation and some silent relaxation. So if you're sitting on the chair, you can scooch to the back of it, maybe put a pillow back there, come up against the wall. If you're sitting on the floor, sitting in a really comfortable seat, or you could be laying down if that feels best to you. So, whatever really feels good to you and supportive here, coming into that really comfortable position for you. And gently closing your eyes or casting them downward. And going back inside and breathing. And then bringing your attention to the crown of your head and inviting it to just release. We're going to imagine a progressive relaxation that's going to start at the top of our head and go all the way to our feet, and I'll slowly guide you through it. So after relaxing the crown of your head, bringing your attention to your face and softening all of the muscles in your face as that stress melts down your face, down your neck, and noticing your shoulders and having them glide down away from your ears as the tension melts down the shoulders, down the arms, and relaxing all of the muscles of the wrists, hands, and fingers. Then bringing your attention back to your shoulders one more time where we hold so much stress. Opening up that heart space and melting those shoulder blades down the back. Releasing any tension down the spine, from the upper to the middle to the lower back. Our rib cage and belly softens and our pelvis releases. And any remaining tension we have melts all the way down the legs, taking any stress in the ankles, feet, and toes out of the body. And doing a quick scan to see if there's anywhere that's still holding any tension. And if there is, maybe inviting the breath or the power of your thoughts there to ask it if it would like to let go. And if not, no judgment, just being curious and letting it know that you hear it. A few more deep breaths here, and remembering our quote, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." And maybe coming back to that idea of how you can support yourself to plant the garden in your mind, in your life, that will help you to be more vibrant. And now we're going to go into just 2 minutes of silent relaxation. I'll mind the time. Ring a bell to get you in, and ring a bell to bring you out. No need to rush. Just noticing any thoughts that come in, like clouds in the sky, and gently inviting them to pass by. When you're ready, gently wiggling your fingers and toes. If you're lying on the ground, you can roll over to one side. If you're sitting on a chair, just pausing for a moment. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes and coming back to that tall seated position wherever you are to close out the class. Taking a deep inhale here, we'll raise our hands up. And on our exhale, we'll bring our hands to our forehead as a reminder to think kind thoughts. Down to our lips as a reminder to speak kind words. And down to our heart space as a reminder to do kind deeds. It's my wish that you and all beings everywhere are happy, healthy, safe, and free. And until we meet again, I wish you so much peace. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice with me today. I hope to see you soon. Vibrantwithvic.com. Check out virtualvegfestlive.com too. See you soon. Bye-bye.